When I was in my early 20s, I went into the Army. And I remember I had a lot of folks ask me why I was going to the Army, and I could just sum it up as telling them that God was leading me into the Army. And sure enough, things transpired in my life while I was in the Army that changed the direction of my life for the good. I joined the Army. I wanted to get into the infantry. I wanted to shoot guns. I wanted to throw grenades. I wanted all that stuff. I didn't want to sit at a desk or learn something that was going to be boring. So I got into the Army. And one thing I remember is that when we trained really hard. We trained to the point that we couldn't train anymore. You learned to do things that you normally, unless someone was requiring you to do it, you wouldn't do it yourself. That's for the most part. We'd have road marches with 50-pound rucksack on our back. There are times that we'd have cold weather training. You'd have to fight off the elements. It was freezing cold, and yet you still had work to be done. And through this, you learn to adjust. You learn to adjust to your environment. You learn to be tough. You learn to be a soldier. So when you sign up to be a soldier, you have to expect that it's not going to be easy. It's made to be tough. It's made to really push you to your limits. And so we experienced that in many ways, to the point that you get numb to it. You learn to turn off your emotions, and you learn to just do what needs to be done. You can fight it, but the more you fight it, the more difficult it's going to be. You learn to just accept it, and just once you learn to accept it, it makes life so much easier. Biggest thing you learn is to adjust and adapt to your environment. Well, I like what Paul says in 1 Corinthians. I believe it's 1 Corinthians chapter 16. And he's talking about, he says, quit you like men. He's telling us, be men of courage. Stand fast. Be strong. Be men and women of courage. Don't allow yourself to be influenced by your own emotions. Don't allow yourself to be influenced of the things of this life. Stand fast when times are difficult. Do what you're supposed to do. Serve God. And Timothy talks something similar. 2 Timothy, I think it's chapter 4, maybe chapter 2. He said, endure hardness as a good soldier of Jesus Christ. It's a perfect, it was Paul saying that to Timothy. And he's talking about how we need to, as a Christian, there are going to be times of difficulties. There are going to be times that we want to quit, or we want to throw in the towel, or we wish things were different. He's saying endure hardness as a good soldier. A soldier doesn't quit. He continues on. He pushes through the difficulties of life. And being a Christian there are going to be those times of difficulty. whether it's through your own temptations, having to endure so that you don't fall into temptation, or it just might be life in general is difficult. Things happen in our lives that cause life to be difficult. Could be anything. Could be finances, could be health, situations, relationships, anything. We can apply this to those areas of our lives. So I want to encourage you, whether it's now or the next time you go through some ordeal that is difficult, that we need to endure that difficulty, endure it for that time, because it will come to pass. You will adjust, you will adapt to your situation. And so be strong, be of good courage, and endure that hardness as a good soldier of Jesus Christ.